Attention, all views and opinions expressed in this video and channel are for educational purposes only.
Hey guys, so we're back, and today we're going to do email number 2. Like I said, at the first other email, I got I put out a post, and I wanted you guys to send me emails about how you did it and how you made your store become true and become something and turned it into whatever it is today. The good, the bad, the ugly part of it, the lessons that can be learned. And I had some folks share them with me. I got several, but I was able to verify 5 or 6 of these. I'm still verifying some others because I don't want to be reading you a bunch of old bull stuff. And so this is what we're going to do. I've already read one, and looks like old Tony Marino here wants me to tell you about his goings on in Jersey. And so I guess that's what I'm doing, man. I guess I'm going to tell you all about it. And here we go. Here's how he starts it off with: from pouring drinks to running Iron Lung Smoke and Vape. Okay. Hey there, Chad. He said, I appreciate all that you do and all the videos and all the knowledge, and I am sending you this email because you asked for it. That intrigued me. My name's Tony Marino, and I run Iron Lung Smoke and Vape here out of New Jersey. If you told me 10 years ago that I'd own a smoke shop with my name on the lease instead of slinging shots behind a bar, I would have laughed you out of the room. But here we are. I want to share my story with you, not to brag, but because I know there's some kids out there reading this who stuck where I was, working nights, tired, broke half the time, with a dream that won't shut up in the back of your head. Man, I know that feeling, bro. I know that feeling. This is how I got from mixing martinis to running one of the busiest shops in my hood. Life behind the bar, unlike me, that was life behind bars. That's beside the point, but I did bartend. When Jamie and I was first married, I was bartending. I grew up in Newark. A classic Italian-American family. My pops was a mechanic. My mom was a school secretary. Nobody in my family was an entrepreneur. You worked a trade, you worked union, you put food on the table. That was the formula for a successful life. Me, I got sucked into the restaurant world young. By 19, I was bussing tables. By 21, tending bar. 15 years later, I was still at it. Nights were long, money was fast, and I won't lie, the lifestyle was addictive. Yeah, because being a damn bartender, man, is a lot of fun. If you are single, it's even a lot more fun because there's the girls. It is what it is. But I wasn't single, so there you are. But I saw a lot of folks that were. But it wears you down. It certainly does. No benefits, no retirement plan, and you're one back injury away from zero income. Then COVID hit. In 2 weeks, the bar was shut down, and suddenly the lifestyle I thought was forever was gone. That's when I started thinking about ownership. Why, you would ask, a smoke shop? I've always been around the scene. Half my regulars at the bars would pull out a vape between drinks or talk about where to buy hookah gear. I noticed something. They weren't loyal to any store. They'd shop wherever was closest. They told me 2 things: that the demand was there and nobody was doing it right. Man, how many times did I hear that? I thought, if I can make people feel as welcome buying a grinder as they did ordering a whiskey from me, I can own this neighborhood. He's Italian, remember? Scraping the money together. Here's the part nobody likes to talk about: the money. I didn't have some rich uncle cutting me a check. I had savings. But let's be real, bartenders weren't sitting on 6 figures. Here's how I made it happen. Number 1, unemployment checks. During the shutdown, I saved every unemployment check I could. By the time the bar opened again, I had about $12K. My cousin Vinnie, not a joke. That's his real name. He worked construction, hated the 9-to-5 grind, and had some savings. I pitched him on the smoke shop idea, and he matched me dollar for dollar Now we had about $24,000. Credit cards. God, man, the very thought of credit cards. But I mean, that's how we started. We started with credit cards. I had a decent credit score, bartending, cash tips let me keep balances low. I opened one new business card, which gave us another $8,000 line of credit. So the total was $32,000 to play with, enough to get started, but not enough to waste. The hunt for a location. We looked at 6 spots before landing on a rundown little storefront off Ferry Street in Newark, Ironbound District. Okay, I don't know what that is, but all right. Rent was $1,900 a month, which felt like robbery at the time. Well, it's not unless you're just in a shithole neighborhood, but it was on the corner with great foot traffic, bars, delis, bus stops surrounding it, prime territory for impulse buys. The landlord was skeptical. Another smoke shop. They don't last. I smiled and told him, yeah, but ours will. He laughed, but he signed the lease. Build out on a budget. Man, I wish I could tell you the build out was glamorous. It was duct tape and stubbornness. Remember though, his cousin here is in construction. Shelving, Craigslist and Facebook marketplace. We bought old convenience store racks and spray painted them black. Counter. My cousin built it out of plywood and laminate sheets. Cost us maybe $200. Signage. We spent $500 on a big red and black sign. Iron Lung Smoke Vape, sorry. People still tell us that name made them stop and check us out. Paint and lighting. We dropped a couple of grand, making the inside bright, clean, and modern. I wanted it to feel more like a bar lounge than a shady corner store. Total build out. Now listen to this. Remember, 32 is what they started with. Was about $9,000. The delay that almost killed us. Here's the first big gut punch. Permits. We signed the lease in April. Thought we'd be open in May. Instead, the city bounced us around for 4 months. Business license, tobacco license, fire inspection, you name it, it got delayed and pushed back. Meanwhile, rent was due. 4 months of paying nearly $2,000 with zero income, brutal. By the time we opened in August, we were already $8,000 in the hole. I remember sitting on the gutted store with my cousin, wondering if we'd made the dumbest damn decision of our lives. Opening day. Finally, the day came. We opened the doors with shelves half-ass stocked, smiles plastered to our faces, with a prayer in the back of our minds. First day, we did about $900 in sales. Not bad, but we weren't celebrating yet. We needed consistency. The first 6 weeks were hell. Some days we'd make only $100. Others we made $700. We had no rhythm, no idea what our baseline would be. The anxiety was worse than bartending tips ever were. I've been there. I know that. The learning curve. Here's what we screwed up early. Number 1, inventory guesswork. Just like Maria, remember. We loaded up on hookahs and cigars thinking that's what would move. Wrong. Our neighborhood was about vapes, disposables, and wraps. We had thousands sitting stale on the shelves. And the prices were too high. Number 2, coming from bartending, I thought margins would be fat. Customers told me otherwise by walking out the door. I learned quickly, better to move product fast at fair prices than let it rot at premium prices. Number 3, security. Week 2, some kid shoplifted about $300 worth of merchandise. We had no cameras, no mirrors, nothing, and we fixed that damn thing in a hurry. So finding our groove. The turning point came when I started treating the store like my bar. Customer experience. I greeted everyone by name if I could, remembered what they bought, cracked jokes with them, and I made the place fun. Number 2, samples and demos. I'd open a grinder, let customers feel it, show them the difference between cheap and quality. That built trust. Community connection. Number 3, we sponsored a local softball team. It only cost us $500, but people noticed. Suddenly, we weren't those guys from the smoke shop. We were Tony and Vinnie from Iron Lung. It's pretty cool. By month 4, our daily sales averaged $800. By month 6, $1,200. We were paying down the debt, but we could breathe again. Setbacks along the way. It wasn't smooth sailing though after that. Vendor headaches. Some suppliers tried to take advantage, late shipments, jacked up prices. We learned to cut ties quickly and find wholesalers we could trust, like unswholesale.com. You can pick me, Grover, or Brandon. We'll be glad to help you out, and we will be honest with you. And if it's not moving in your area, we can see that from our computer. Competition. Within a year, 2 new smoke shops opened within a mile. Instead of panicking, we doubled down on service. You can buy a vape anywhere, but you can't get Tony's bad jokes anywhere. That became our edge. Family stress. My wife was nervous at first. What if this fails, she'd ask. We had nights of shouting matches over money. Today, she helps with the bookkeeping, but those early months were almost broke us. Now, listen, I can totally understand that because the wife, I used her credit cards to get the business up and running. Because remember, man, I wasn't too long out of the joint when that got started. And we used her credit cards because she had good credit. I did not. And we got it going. And I did pay that back very quickly, mainly to shut her up. Don't tell her I said that. But it's a fact. I just wanted to get the peace back within the house. She was very stressed from it. And so I totally understand what old Tony's talking about here, okay? The big lesson, betting on ourselves. I'll be straight with you. If you're thinking about opening a shop, you need to know it's a gamble. We bet everything we had, savings, credit, time, pride. For months, it looked like we were losing all of it. But here's the thing. Nobody's coming to save you. No banks, no investors, no boss. You've got to put your chips on the table and play the hands you're dealt. For me, betting on myself was the scariest and best decision ever made. Today, he says, fast forward to now, the shop has been open for over 4 years. We gross over $500,000 annually, employ 4 people, and I haven't poured a drink in years, unless it's a family cookout. That's cool. My cousin and I are already scouting a second location across the river in Jersey City. Most important, I've got security. I've got something that's mine. I've got regulars who come in just to talk life, the same way they used to at the bar. That's worth more to me than money. What I'd tell you, if you're thinking of opening a shop, here's my advice from one working stiff guy to another. Well, maybe you're a working stiff girl, or lady, or whatever. Save more than you think you'll need. Permits and delays will eat you alive. Number 2, listen to your customers. Forget what you think is cool. Sell what they want. Number 3, don't skimp on security. Cameras, mirrors, policies. Theft is real. It sure is. Number 4, treat people like family. That's the one thing that the internet can't compete with. They're so right, man. I have still got people that come in and tell the people we work with in the stores that they remember us in the flea market and how me and Brandon, we know them, and they have no problem dropping names, believe you me. And then they'll call us and say, hey man, so-and-so's here, man. He's asking if he could get a deal on this, and this. And I remember them. I do remember them. And without those people, you're nowhere. You really aren't. And those people who stuck with you from that time to this time, hey, fuck it. You got to help these people. And they will keep coming back and keep taking care of you because you've took care of them for this long. It is what it is. Sometimes you got to give a little bit to get a whole lot. Number 5, expect stress. If you can't handle uncertainty, ownership is not for you. So that's my story. From bartender to smoke shop owner, from pouring shots to counting invoices, from wondering what if to saying we did it. And if I can do it with nothing but unemployment checks, a cousin crazy enough to go all in, and a stubborn refusal to quit, then you can too. Salud, Tony Marino. My man, Newark, New Jersey. Hey man, I appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for sending that to us. I was proud to read that and salute you for your success. You and your cousin are two crazy jokers. And God, and just imagine, I don't know, looking back at it like today, that I would want to do it the same way we did it. Tony, you and your cousin had a lot of balls. Your wife had a lot of stress. I know she did, because I know my wife did at the time. Jamie really put up with a whole lot. Isabella put up with a whole lot because she didn't get to see me very often. And I missed a lot of years with that. And it's tough. That's tough having kids getting started in a business. And you're never getting that time back, y'all. So if you don't think you can do that, maybe you don't. Tony and his old lady and his cousin, and I don't know if he's married or not. I don't know if they all have kids or not, but I'm telling you, man, that's tough. And they was able to get in there and pull it off and slug it out over a period of time. And you ultimately can too. It's, do you want to put in the time and effort to do it? And that's what these people here are sending me emails about. Later on, you'll hear more emails. Hopefully it'll be something you'll be interested in, and hopefully you will pull some inspiration or some understanding of what you may or may not should do. And if you find out that this ain't from you, just from these emails, well, I'm glad. In all honesty, I'm glad that you figured it out before you stuck a lot of money, time, effort, stress. It's tough, y'all. It's no joke. It's nothing to kid around about. And I'm proud of these guys and girls for pulling this off. But it ain't for everybody. And I have said that repeatedly. Most of the things, they're telling you in here, they've already lived through and struggled through. And hopefully you guys will listen to them. I'm not full of shit, y'all. I'm trying to tell you the facts, and it's not always pretty. Most of the time it's not. It's a lot of fun. And sometimes it's heartbreaking. Sometimes it's so stressful. And you have to constantly think, is this shit even worth it? And I'll tell you, for me, it was, because I did not want to go back to the joint, because money was a weird thing for me. It was a very weird thing for me. And I wanted that so bad. And when you want something so bad that you are willing to give it all, literally, you'll make it happen. And if you don't, it wasn't supposed to be in the first place, y'all. With enough blood, sweat, and tears and prayers, you can pull it off. And I'll be here to help you if you'll just listen. And if you got anything and maybe I can help you out and you need some help with it, hit me up over at chadwadetv.com. I'd be glad to consult with you, and I'll help you get to where you need to be. I'm not going to do it for free. If you want the free, you can catch these videos. Other than that, check me out over there, man. I'll be glad to do it. Be glad to talk to you all the way through. All right, guys, I appreciate everything. Tony, I appreciate you and your cousin. Salute. And I'll catch you all next time. Maybe we'll read some more. Bye.